D2DNY, Real World HVAC Simplified. And now in this video, we'll be talking about Hpcv, or head pressure control valves. In the field, the pros call it Headmaster control valves, or Headmaster. There it is. Okay. Also, as a bonus for all you experts or pros out there, or even beginners, I'm going to throw in a quick walkthrough of this legacy chiller control logic, what's in there, some of its features, and some of whatever it has to offer, if you want to call it that. So again, this is real world, real time, real HVAC simplified. So we're going to get the compressor music in the video, which won't be edited out. All right, so if you don't like real world, real HVAC, real time explained, then you can exit right now. And if you want to improve on your skills and learn something new, then you could stay. So first we're going to talk about how this thing works, and then we're going to talk about how it's piped in to the system. When I'm talking about how it works, I won't be going through all the details and fine-tuning and the nitty-gritty. Nitty-gritty, is that even a... Well, anyways, I won't be going through all the minute details. I'm just going to give a quick little description of how it works, right? So basically what this does, it will restrict the flow of refrigerant on the condenser, right? On one hand, while allowing, so it's restricting the liquid. It holds the liquid in the condenser, right? So when it's cold outside, when the ambient temperature is cold enough so that the head pressure is low, then it will restrict the flow of liquid through the condenser. So it holds the liquid in the condenser, and by doing that, you're building pressure simultaneously while it's holding the liquid. It's allowing some of the discharge gas to pass through and bypass the condenser. And the discharge gas comes right over here to the liquid line, which is the receiver, liquid line inlet, receiver inlet, which is this liquid line that goes to the receiver inlet. And so the discharge gas, bypass through this valve right here while it's holding back the liquid, the water in the condenser, right? It holds back the liquid refrigerant in the condenser and allow the discharge gas to pass through this valve right here. The valve is multiple action, and the discharge gas comes into the head of the top of the receiver, and the bottom of the receiver tank right here will have liquid refrigerant, and now that will push it through and force the liquid out into your liquid line. You have a liquid line on the bottom there is high glass, and then to your metering device, whether it's TXV, LEV, EEV, whatever. So again, on the one hand, this valve, when the temperature and pressure is low, it will cause the blockage of liquid in the condenser, while simultaneously allowing the discharge from my discharge line right here to pass through, going directly into this liquid line, which is connected to the inlet of my receiver, and pushes out whatever liquid in the receiver to continue to the system. Now, while that is happening, because the condenser is blacked off, we're not rejecting any heat, because we're blocking off the liquid line on the condenser. We're not rejecting any heat, so all the heat load absorbed or picked up on the evaporator side comes out as discharge gas. It comes straight into this barrel right here, which is your receiver. That's pretty much, I mean, if you got questions, leave it in the comment. But that's about it for the operation, how it's piped in. Okay, so on the valve, you have 3 pipes. You have two inlets and 1 outlet. You have one inlet labeled DSCH, that's discharge, and another one labeled COND, which is condenser. So that's the DSCH is your discharge line or compressor discharge, and the COND, that's your liquid line from your condenser. And obviously the other one that says the one outlet, which is says REC, well, that's your receiver. Okay, now let's look at how let's trace the piping out and see how it's piped. Whew. All right, so we have a compressor right here, and this is the compressor discharge line. You see that goes all the way through, all the way around. We'll follow the discharge line. Don't take your eyes off of it. Here we go. So this is the compressor discharge line. It comes here, and you can see a T, right? There's a T right here, and you see it tees off, and we come into the DSCH on the headmaster valve, right? And the other pipe continues, go down to the bottom, and branches off and go into our condenser inlets, right? Now, the second pipe is the liquid line outlet. The liquid line out from your condenser, or the condenser outlet. Liquid line out or condenser outlet, or liquid line leaving condenser. And unlike the discharge line, the liquid line leaving the condenser passes straight through the valve only. It is not teed off. So in the bottom here, you can see this right here is a liquid line. And you can see it comes in and it goes into the bottom of the valve. Okay, the liquid line goes in the bottom of the valve, and then we have the REC. Come on, camera, focus, behave. Anyway, we have the REC that leaves as the only one outlet on the valve, which is this pipe right here, and you can see it comes around and that goes into your receiver inlet. All right, so that's a receiver inlet, and obviously now we continue from the receiver. The valve is now the question. Your receiver outlet, that's a liquid line, still goes into your liquid line dryer. If you're a pro, you know that. If you're a beginner, you learn something. Here's your sight glass and onto your evaporator and metering device, or metering device and evaporator. So that's pretty much how that is. It's piped in. Got question, leave it in the comment. I'll answer them. Let's look at this chiller here now. Also, the headmaster, in order to control the head pressure, not only does it blocks off the condenser and bypass the condenser, coupled with that, usually there's a fan cycling device that controls the condenser fan based on pressure. So if the pressure is up, the fan will spin, rejecting some heat, and if the pressure is low, it will stay off. Okay, all right, so let's look at this real quick. Just gonna play around with it a little quick, and so you guys could see what's going on here. Okay, so we got cooling control. Okay, we got that. I won't make any changes. Just gonna go through it. And you can see all the options, but if you press this button right here, now how about that, right? A QR code to help you figure out what's going on here and understand how this works. Pretty much self-explanatory, but let's get out of here. Go back to home. We're going to compressor. You can go to the other compressor. That's on. There's the pressures right there. Because we've got pressure transducers hooked up. Okay, exit that. All right, so we go into features and control. And yeah, I won't get. There's too much stuff going on here. I'm just gonna close this video off because it's getting rather long. It's almost 10 minutes now. We got some alarms here. We got high pressure and compressor 1, which is the one over there. The one that I was looking at with the headmaster. All right. And we got some pump flow issues. I don't know what's going on with the pumps. I mean, the pump is running. That's running. That's a primary and backup. They both pipe together. And that loop. And then this right here is secondary loops. You got primary and secondary. And but anyways, this video is not about that. It was about that device right there. just dropped my flashlight. It was about the headmaster control, or the head pressure control. And I'm going to close this video off. If you like this video, as usual, this is real world, real time, real HVAC simplified. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I do upload videos on a weekly basis.